老北京人爱吃的炸酱面，家家户户滋味都各不相同。而炸酱面的灵魂就在这一勺酱上。取半肥半瘦的五花肉，切丁儿，倒入油锅里，加上葱姜蒜，慢慢煸出油来，炸酱的精华便随之而得。这时，再加入鲜香浓稠的黄豆酱，小火1小时，酱香就慢慢溢出来了。火候的掌握是能否炸出一锅好酱的关键。在过去，谁家要是做了炸酱，勾人的香气就飘得满院子都是。每一个老北京人心中最地道的炸酱，就是自家传承下来的那一种，因为只有家人才知道怎样才最合自己的口味儿。这是平凡生活里来自于家的慰藉和熨贴。
Have you ever heard about these black noodles? It's one of Korea's representative foods. Male or female, kid or adult, and even dogs in Korea love this food. This is Jajangmyeon.
세계 어느 나라 가도 한국 분들이 계시는데 짜장면 장사 다 있어요. 중국에서 나왔지만 오히려 중국에다 역수출까지 가는 한국 음식 됐어요. 한국식 짜장면이라고 해요.
짜장면이랑 추억의 음식?
추억의 음식?
상을 타거나 또 무슨 행사가 있으면은 야 짜장면 사줄게 가자 그러면 그게 최고였지 뭐.
Now this black noodle has taken firm roots in the Korean cuisine as well.
If you've watched any Korean drama or movies, chances are you've seen these noodles.
Jajangmyeon, or black bean noodles, is arguably one of the most beloved dishes in South Korea. As many as 6 million bowls are sold every day, according to some Korean news reports.
And we believe it. Koreans even have a designated day for single people to console themselves by eating this dish.
This is Wang Hye-ju, the owner of Shinseung Banjeom. Her grandfather was one of the first to open a jajangmyeon restaurant in Korea.
Aside from its popularity and deliciousness, Jajangmyeon tells a fascinating story of immigration.
Despite Korean Chinese food's popularity, Chinese immigrants had a hard time integrating into Korean society.
힘들었죠. 엄청 힘들었죠. 그때 당시에서는 이제 집도 못 샀었고 은행 계좌를 설정을 못 했죠. 세금도 일반 한국 분들한테 이제 2배나 이제 세금 내야 되는 경우가 있고, 그리고 또 인간차별, 화교 외국 사람이다니까 나가서도 중국말 하면 사람들이 흉을 봐요. 얘네들 뭐 짱깨이다 막 그런 한국말을 하는데 기분이 나쁘죠, 아무래도.
Even though she's been living in South Korea for decades, Wang is still considered a Hwagyo, a Chinese resident in Korea.
한국인이라고 느낄 때는 없으세요?
없어요. 제 의미는 여기에 있는 거가 이제 화교들에 있는 뿌리라고 생각해요. 저 말고도 이제 여기 있는 화교들도 그런 생각일 거예요, 아마.
Kimbap. Now, some people cannot differentiate kimbap with sushi, but it is definitely different 100%. Kimbap are these, with cooked rice, mixed with all kinds of stuff. That's why I prepared a variety of kimbap today, wrapped with kim. Kim is seaweed paper like this. And the kim that we use for kimbap are not seasoned, it's just plain kim. And also, when we think of kimbap, Koreans automatically think of the picnic days. We always had our kimbap ready to go with our picnic, usually homemade kimbap that our mom made for us. The most basic kimbap would look like this. So with oi, 당근, gosari and keran and 단무지 and pap. Here they have cheese and yubu in it. So we usually call these cheese kimbap. Let me try the cheese kimbap. Ooh, nice cheese. So I thought this one was cheese kimbap, but I can taste the cheese, but the most representative thing that I can taste is the yubu. Now this is like one of the special kimbap, because usually kimbaps are filled with vegetables, but as you can see here, there is tonkatsu. It looks like a tonkatsu roll. This is not the most usual kimbap, but you can find all kinds of kimbap these days. Let me try it. It's spicy. This is good. Chamchi kimbap is also one of the most popular kimbap as well. So there's tuna inside, tuna with mayonnaise. Wow, there's a hit here. They put green pepper inside, so it's spicy. It's nice because they have tuna inside because it's pretty spicy with the green pepper. This is like, ooh, some good quality kimbap. Now this kind of tastes like sushi because there's raw fish in here, salmon, and also they use wasabi. I can taste that they use wasabi here. So this normally doesn't happen in regular Korean kimbap. Regular Korean kimbap looks more like this with mostly cooked stuff. But this, it actually tastes like you're having a good salad. And the good thing about kimbap is you can make it pretty easily as well if you have the ingredients. If you just have this kim for making kimbap, it looks like the square kim. It's pretty big. And what you do is you stick the sticky rice on this kim pad, and then you put all the ingredients that you want, or you can take out some that you don't like. For example, if you don't like cucumber, then you can just put out cucumber. So you can make your own kimbap. You can even invent your own kimbap. In the internet, there are all kinds of weird kimbaps in Korea as well. There is 꽁치 kimbap in Jeju-do. They put an entire fish inside the kimbap and they cut it. You can check out the image. Oh, and also there is mayak kimbap in Korea, which is directly translated into jog kimbap because it can be so addictive because it's so good. You can find so many various types of kimbap in Korea. So if you're in Korea, then try one of these kimbap or kimbaps that you like, or try to make your own kimbap at home. Also, don't confuse kimbap with sushi. They are very different things. Thank you so much for watching. This was Korean 언니.
每一次做完公益，他们总会前往汤档去喝碗汤。
因为我们广东人就是从小就会喝汤，就好像呼吸那么平常了。你会感觉到在调理身体，这个汤是我的生命的一部分，生活的一部分。
这些食材配比能补中益气、滋阴养颜。 需要事先泡发的花椒，富含胶原蛋白，补肺气生肾阴。然而，因为爸爸痛风，喝不了传统老火汤，郑雅珍要想办法降低嘌呤，减少煲汤时间，还要入味。她把鸡腿先去皮去脂肪，切块切小，与姜片一起放进炖中，炖煮不超过3小时。 这呼应了中医和中国食养文化，根据每个人的体质特性调整改变。在最后倒数20分钟时，再放入道地药材，文火慢炖。要是过早放入，这些药食同源的材料会失去药性。最后5分钟迅速放入花椒炖煮。关火后不能马上开盖，要等锅里平静下来。 食物元气全回到汤里。花椒炖鸡汤，汤色清亮而滋补，特别适合在冬藏和春生时饮用。郑雅珍就尝试接单，给写字楼里的他们做汤、送汤。 郑雅珍在想，喝汤的文化能不能像喝下午茶一样，变成广州白领们的日常，让煲汤成为人人都能有的食养观念，长保安康？应该可以，毕竟广州人早就有了煲汤喝汤的习惯。
Samgye-tang, the traditional health food of Korea. Each bowl contains love and devotion.
People in South Korea eat a special dish called Samgye-tang. Its name literally means ginseng chicken soup, and it's made with a whole chicken filled with rice, garlic, jujube, and ginseng. Rich in nutrients, the comfort food is eaten to nourish the body during the sizzling days of summer.
Ready-made meals like these allow people short on time to heat them up and enjoy the taste of samgye-tang within minutes in the comfort of their own home.
They generally cost between $5 and $7 and contain ingredients like ginseng and garlic, just like the dishes sold at restaurants. According to South Korean food company CJ Jajangmyeon, the sales of their samgye-tang meal kits from June 1st to July 10th increased by 15% compared to the same period last year. Times are changing, and so are ways to enjoy samgye-tang. But regardless of whether eaten at restaurants, made at home, or bought prepared, samgye-tang will always remain a soul food in the hearts of Koreans. Lee Si-hoo, Arirang News.
특徴は立ってしまうほどの分厚さ。外はカリッと、中はふわふわもちもち食感。食べ応えたっぷりの自称日本一分厚いたい焼きです。いい音。外はサクッ、中はふわっとしっとり食感。あんはクリームチーズを練り込んだ滑らかな粒あんでさっぱりとした甘さを演出しています。そんなこんがり焼かれた個性的なたい焼きに、今は夏限定冷たいソフトクリームを豪快にコラボ。
たい焼きって暑いイメージがすごく強いと思うんですけれども、夏でも皆さんに楽しんでいただきたいなというところで、配達もすごく多くご注文いただいております。
Bungeoppang.
Oh.
Bungo is a carp, kind of a fish.
Yep.
And it's known to be like one of the most popular, familiar street food in winter, along with tteokbokki and odeng, but bungeoppang. According to my parents, they've been having this when they were little. And by the way, they were born in the 50s, 1950s.
Wow. So they've been having it since back then when they were young as well. So it's long been in Korea.
每一种饺子都用的是与其造型相对应的馅料。形就是味，味随形变。青蛙饺子选用养殖的牛蛙肉作为馅料，美丽的金鱼饺子选用上等的鱼肉作为馅料，莲藕饺子则选用陕西当地的9孔贡藕作为馅料。这盘饺子吃起来，美味轮番交替，在味蕾上演奏出美妙的交响曲。馅料制作中的一切、一剁、一搅、一拌，看似简单的动作，却传承着传统的调制馅料的技法。
这边是薄的，这边是厚的。你刚才一压，你看压到我。
哦，这是我这已经失败了。
对，那还可以，来。
太快了吧，师傅！又30秒不到，你又做了一个青蛙出来。
看您做都感觉都挺简单，但自己上手好像就又有那么一点不对啊，做出来。
没事，这个不难的。
我从来没有做饺子做的这么小心翼翼过，每一步都得想好。剪个角。
对，斜的。
开始点睛之笔了。天哪！
Is this what will represent Korea today?
Why don't you take a closer look? The dumpling hidden inside the soup is today's main dish called Mandu. We'll let you know how it tastes in a bit. But the important thing to consider when making Mandu is the dough. Thin out the dough and make it into a circular shape. Now we need to make the filling. From vegetables to beef, the ingredients are endless. Korean Mandu requires a lot of handwork. It's because each piece needs to be hand-shaped. Place an adequate amount of the filling on the dough and fold it in half. Make the shape you want, and it's done. It can be a hassle to make, but doesn't it look delicious?
Fried chicken, rolled in flour and spices and fried golden brown. Portable Provisions, America's original finger food. For years, fried chicken was a regional specialty, a favorite of the South. It eventually took a civil war, an industrial revolution, and one very famous bearded gentleman to get fried chicken to strut north of the Mason-Dixon line. But fried chicken was still a Southern specialty. It would take a cantankerous colonel to harness that spicy, special flavor, put it in a bucket instead of a shoebox, and turn it into a national phenomenon.
Hi there, little folks. How are you, huh? You're great people. Hello there, how are you? So nice to see you.
Can you believe it? How did it happen? How did he do it? What is his name?
Harlan Sanders considered himself a complete washout. A 7th grade dropout, he had failed at one job after another. Streetcar conductor, steamboat ferryman, railroad fireman. And then in 1930, he bought his own service station in Corbin, Kentucky, right off the interstate highway. But after the customers caught the smell of Sanders cooking for his family in the back room, Sanders found that the food outsold the gas. His specialty? A tender fried chicken made with his own spice mixture. He called them his 11 herbs and spices. His chicken joint got reviewed in travel guides and was put on lists of recommended restaurants. In 1935, the governor recognized the self-made man by rewarding him with a very local distinction, the honorary title of Kentucky Colonel. That's a title familiar to hamburger legend Dave Thomas, who once worked for Colonel Sanders.
That was his role. He was a Kentucky colonel. I'm a Kentucky colonel. There's hundreds of Kentucky colonels. But the colonel played the part.
Harlan Sanders liked the sound of his title very much, and from then on he called himself Colonel Sanders. By the late 1940s, Sanders was a Kentucky legend. He had found something he was good at. But just when Sanders was happy with things as they were, his road took a sharp turn, literally.
So then they moved the highway, and that really kind of cut him off.
Traffic slowed to a trickle. Business died, and Sanders sold the restaurant at a huge loss. But the colonel was tenacious. He cashed his very first Social Security check and set out in his rickety Chevrolet with a bag of spices and a pressure cooker he designed himself. His idea was the beginning of franchising. He would offer any restaurant owner a taste of his fried chicken. If they liked it, he would send them a bag of the secret spices already mixed. His pressure cooker could fry a bird in less than half the time needed with a regular iron skillet. On a visit to Salt Lake City in 1952, He tried out his technique on a successful restaurant owner named Pete Harmon. Sanders told Harmon, "I'm making you dinner tonight." The Colonel was a perfectionist. It took him 5 hours to cook supper.
So about 9 o'clock, the chicken come off, and I thought we was going to eat, and it sure looked good. and he said, "Oh no, we got to make the gravy, and you have to cook those cracklings till they float to get the right flavor." So we had dinner at 10 o'clock that night, and boy, it was good.
That's the white meat. I always put the white meat in last because
Harmon jumped at the Colonel's deal. For every chicken he sold using the Colonel's recipe, Harmon would give Sanders a 5-cent royalty. Now they had to figure out what to call it.
We tried several names. We was already in Utah, so it didn't mean anything Utah fried chicken. So, and I says, "Well, I never been. This guy's from Kentucky, and I never been there. But to me, Kentucky means Southern hospitality and good food."
Customers bought up so much of the new Kentucky Fried Chicken that Pete Harmon began opening restaurants that served only the Colonel's chicken. He started serving it in buckets when he purchased 500 surplus cardboard tubs and realized it was the perfect container for a family meal.
We put 14 pieces of chicken in a bucket, and let's see, a pint of mashed potatoes, and 5 rolls. And you lifted it, and you didn't feel like you had $4.50 worth. So we put a pint of gravy in it, and then you had your money's worth when you lifted it.
By 1960, restaurant owners were selling the Colonel's chicken out of 200 restaurants. 3 years after that, it was 600. In 1964, Harlan Sanders sold his interest to a pair of entrepreneurs, but stayed on as the official pitchman. The company also slapped the Colonel's picture on the side of every bucket, and the Colonel himself became an international fried chicken ambassador. He traveled the world well into his 80s, cutting ribbons at new franchises and extolling the virtues of tender, tasty chicken.
You've heard of Colonel Sanders' secret recipe. Mm-hmm. Well, and that's no story.
And woe to the franchisee whose food didn't meet the salty-tongued Colonel's standards.
And he used to say, "If I ever catch anybody not cooking it right," he says, "I'll back my Cadillac up there and take their cookers away from them."
And to think that you're so no count that you couldn't hold.
You know, forget the chicken, but the gravy is the most important thing. And it was a really obsession with him.
It was the first thing he inspected when he went into a restaurant, and he was very critical, and you better have the gravy right or you were in for a serious tongue lashing.
It's finger licking good. So when you're in the mood for some fabulous food, just say Kentucky Fried Chicken for me.
By 1969, there were more Kentucky Fried Chicken outlets than there were McDonald's restaurants. Eventually, KFC would lose that lead, but the Colonel had won plenty of victories. He had virtually invented the idea of food franchising, selling branches in a successful restaurant concept. And he had taken fried chicken from the kitchens of the South to tabletops all across America and well beyond.
오, 존맛.
대박.
Do you guys like chicken? It's hard to go wrong with chicken wherever you go. And in Korea, chicken is the #1 most loved Korean dish among foreigners and often features in dramas or movies. Nowadays, we even have a festival to celebrate Korean chicken. Then, out of all the chicken dishes around the world, why are people obsessed with the Korean chicken in particular? It actually hasn't been that long since the Korean-style fried chicken came into the scene. Traditionally, chicken dishes usually came in broth or soups such as Samgye-tang. It wasn't until the 1960s that Korea's first rotisserie chicken restaurant opened up. But starting from the 1980s, fried chicken soared in popularity with the arrival of Kentucky Fried Chicken in the peninsula. And just when there was a growing demand for fried chicken, chicken chains started coating it in hot and sweet sauce made from gochujang and create the unique Korean-style fried chicken we see today. The red sauce looked spicy but had a sweet finish to it, which easily captivated customers of all ages with its distinct flavor. Around this time, Korea was hit by the Asian financial crisis in the late 1990s, which led to many people losing their jobs. So, to make a living, a lot of these people opened their own business. With low initial investment cost and the 2002 World Cup craze, the number of chicken franchises doubled after the financial crisis. Since then, people started pairing chicken with beer, creating the iconic chimek drinking culture in Korea. There was also an increasing number of apartment complexes, which made it possible for small franchises to reach larger groups of customers through delivery services. Thanks to this, chicken became the most popular delivery food you could order from literally anywhere. All that said, there are now more than 87,000 chicken restaurants in Korea, which is double the number of McDonald's locations worldwide. In fact, chicken joints account for more than 20% of all franchises in the country, so people have been continuously experimenting with diverse recipes to satisfy customer taste. Surviving the most competitive business in the food industry, the Korean fried chicken has now become a global phenomenon. And though there have been debates on whether this was a Korean food or not, there's no doubt it has become a favorite for anyone around the world.
When you first come to Korea, of course, you're going to hit the big dishes that you want to eat, the Korean dishes, but then you're going to crave your home food. You're going to need a little bit of cheesiness. And so instead of going towards that American style or that pizza style that you're used to, come and try the world of Korean pizza.
Yes, because it's different. You will not find it anywhere else in the world.
Wow.
Oh
Man,
my God.
Wow. Look at, there's a piece of lemon right here. Wow.
What is this? This is like...
Oh my gosh, this one I got on Instagram.
Crazy.
Today
is kimchi. Kimchi day. We're very good at localizing the foreign food. So like Jajangmyeon, it like originated from China, but it's something that you will not find in China, like to the same taste.
And the same thing applies to pizza. Koreans know this thing called pizza. It has some dough and some toppings. And just with those two variables, we have made our own idea of what a pizza is. So whatever ingredients are in season, they put it on top of the pizza. And Koreans are always inclined to try the new thing. Korean culture is what we call pali-pali. That translates to very fast culture. And that also applies to how we eat food as well.
Rich and heavy, but we like it that way. We want to like have a variety of taste in one mouth.
I hope we're not scaring people off about Korean pizza. Trust me guys, it's delicious.
Our story starts with reports of a lone protester outside a Brooklyn pizza parlor. Why was he there? What did he want? Maybe his placard would give us a clue. On it was a picture of a bearded man and a single word in what turned out to be Korean. The word was thief. The picture on his poster led us to this website, a site espousing all sorts of theories and accusations. We tracked down its creator to a small suburb outside of Seoul in South Korea. Song Joon-han, a history student dropout and passionate conspiracy theorist, was the site's main contributor and blogger. He also disclosed the identity of the bearded man, Marco Polo, the 13th century Italian explorer.
I hate Marco Polo. He stole one of our national treasures. He stole pizza from Korea.
Pizza is indeed ours. Most of the evidence has been destroyed, but fortunately, artifacts are continually being uncovered. Look at this painting, for example. What is this man doing here?
Asia has lots of dishes resembling pizza. But the closer you get to Jinju, the closer you get to the classic pizza. I think Italy owes us an apology.
Koreans invented pizza? What else they invented? Like cappuccino? They invented Ferrari? That's what you're telling me? Yeah, come on.
Then, is there anyone from the region still making pizza the original way? In Seoul, we found Mr. Woo Jung, owner and CEO of Mr. Pizza.
We are original pizza. My father made pizza. My grandfather made pizza. My grandfather's grandfather made pizza. We made pizza.
We asked him if they invented pizza.
We never said that we invented pizza. We are original pizza. We are original pizza.
We weren't going to get our conclusive evidence from him. But maybe we can get it from somewhere else. Buddhism.
I found a piece of undeniable evidence. A Buddha from the Goryeo dynasty. Look on top of his head. What is that? It can only be a pizza box. For years, people have speculated over the meaning of the second box. I think this is the first buy one, get one free garlic bread promotions of the time.
We also invented garlic bread.
Could the first pizza actually have been from Korea? And more startling, could it have come with free garlic bread?